Said he not giving out the SNAP benefits. The court said he had to give them out, but he not giving them out. You don't know why? He spent the money. He spent the money between Argentina, the ballroom, just his lavish Halloween party. He spent that money. That money going, y'all. Oh my goodness. I can't believe the situation we in. Actually, I can. I can't believe the situation that we in, but it's going to be all right. I'm just happy that my people, I'm so proud of us that we remain calm. We didn't give them what they wanted. Nobody went out there and, blew up the Walmart. There wasn't no looting, wasn't no rioting for food. Because we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. Since I made that video about everybody not talking to news media, which I seen some of y'all talking to news media, but whatever. So many people have DM'd me with ideas and GoFundMes and resources that I can give to everybody. If you DM me and you need food, I have so many resources that people have DM'd me to provide help. And people have started local food pantries. People have started giving out, just leaving food on their driveway. Literally, people have just been put buckets of food out on their driveway and just for people to take. People were giving out food at Halloween. It's just a beautiful thing to see. And I'm really proud of my people for maintaining our composure, even though they sitting there making AI videos of us not doing it. They are so desperate they have to make AI videos of us looting and stuff like that. They can't even find a real video because it's not happening. And I'm very proud of us. I'm very proud of us for not doing what they think that we're going to do. We're not who they say we are.
Donald Trump doesn't care about poor people, a statement that we all can agree is true, which is why it's really confusing that his base, which is MAGA, are mainly poor people. The Trump administration sent out a memo to groceries and grocery stores telling them they cannot provide or offer discounted goods to those people who have lost their SNAP benefits. The USDA sent out a memo to several grocers around the country who had planned to offer discounted produce and discounted goods to those recipients who have lost SNAP, telling them that they cannot treat SNAP recipients any differently, they cannot price things differently, and that they had to offer things at the regular price. This comes at the same time that Donald Trump threw a elaborate, lavish party for Halloween, spending millions of dollars to host people, while millions of people who are mainly in his base lose access to food, all because he doesn't want to guarantee that millions of people remain insured under affordable health care. Do you see how crazy that sounds? I have personally lived in a country that had a dictator that through lavish events, lavish weddings, lavish parties, where the bulk of the population was living under $1 a day. And where's that dictator now? Not alive. We've seen this time and time and time again, where these people in power, they live a elaborate, lavish life, while people who supported them are living in austerity and destitution. And this is currently happening in America. Donald Trump has the lowest rating amongst white people that he's ever had from his first term until now, until he's been reelected. And I'm like, are people finally waking up to the fact that he doesn't give a fuck about you? It's not just people who look like me he doesn't care about. He doesn't care about poor people in general, because the poor people somehow always have his back. Groceries are higher, gas is higher, expenses are higher, the economy is down, but guess what's not down? Donald Trump's coffers. This is the president that has made billions of dollars since he's come into office.
Hello guys, welcome once again to the channel. I hope wherever you're watching, you're having a great time. Now, the Senate just voted to reopen the government, and this marks one of the longest, if not the longest, government shutdown that has ever happened in America. This shutdown exposed a lot of things. First, there has been this myth where whites believe that blacks are the welfare queens, but then it dawned on them that it's not blacks, but it's them. So this government shutdown, while it hurt many Americans, while it really had a lot of negative advantage for those who are depending on government expenses to help themselves move on, we have to realize that it has brought in a new reality that was very hidden by most American politicians. For example, if you look at conservative politicians, they have been the ones yapping loudest about the fact that America cannot be a socialist country. America cannot continue handing in free things to other people who needs to go work. But then, especially the MAGA voters who have believed that they need to cut on government spending, they realized that in the rural sides, the greatest supporters of Donald Trump, they are the people who have been helped for years by the government welfare services. So in today's video, I want us to focus on this question. And with the realization that there are those whites who believed that this government shutdown is going to teach black people a lesson, they were disappointed. They believed that blacks will starve because when SNAP benefits cannot be handed over to people, they will go and starve. But in contrast, what happened? It is whites who are starving. Take a listen to some of these clips that I've compiled. I shall come back in the end with my commentary.
I'm about to get on America's head right now. Y'all know this, right? So I just did a live and we was talking about EBT, and I just was, because I was absolutely thrown off at how soft America has gotten when it comes to these benefits. First of all, in my opinion, I feel like when it comes to people who are disabled and who are elders, they're not even in this conversation because we know that they need our help. But you grown motherfuckers, the ones that's picking up their phone crying about losing their stamps and in long lines of you able-bodied people getting food at these pantries. Here's my thing. Where are y'all survival skills at? Like seriously. When y'all be at these grocery stores, you do know that we could tell who has stamps and who doesn't. We not trying to count your coins and nothing like that, but we could see that because it's kind of like, okay, wait a minute. That buggy is filled to the brim. Snacks, juices, chips, garbage. We don't see no, we see it. We don't be staring, but we see you. So how is it that it took for one day for you all to get a threat that y'all stamps was getting cut off? Now y'all in mayhem, so you don't have no flour, you don't have no bread, you don't have no eggs, you don't have no sugar, you have no canned goods, you don't got no frozen vegetables, you don't got no deep freezer if you got multiple kids. Like, where do you all know how to cook? Do y'all even cook anymore? I'm a millennial, okay? Grew up with a mother who was a single mother who had 2 kids. Granted, we had my grandmother, so yeah, we had a little bit of help. We had a community, but that's beside the point. We never went hungry. I was a little chubby little kid. We wasn't missing no meals. My mama got food stamps. We used to get the paper food stamp. But see, back then, the difference is it wasn't a flex to get food stamps. People used to be embarrassed to get food stamps. Y'all be pulling out that EBT card like it's a black card from American Express. Y'all don't be buying the things that could be lasting in y'all house for days, weeks, months, years. We do got a contingency fund, and apparently they say that Trump has to release some of those funds so that way it could cover SNAP benefits. We don't even have enough, so all of y'all not gonna get all y'all benefits. So what y'all gonna do then? We've been telling y'all for a long damn time, years, even before Biden got in office. We gotta be prepared for whatever is to come. Please use this as a lesson. I'm not here to beat up on y'all, but y'all gotta learn some survival skills. Y'all need to know how to make multiple meals out of the ingredients that you're buying at these stores. Because if you keep giving the government the power to feed you, also giving them the power to starve you and your kids. I'd suggest that you learn how to start taking some lessons from the Amish, learn how to take some lessons from our elders, see what you could do in order to start getting food that's going to last you for some time. Stop buying that junk, because for one, it's not good for you, it's not good for your kids, and it don't last worth a damn. Please take this as an opportunity to learn this as a lesson that anything could happen. You could be cut off at any time. Proper preparation prevents poor performance as well as starvation. Do better.
Dear nieces and nephews, if a news station comes up to you and they want to interview about losing your SNAP benefits, decline the interview. If I see you on a news station, I'm going to find you and we're going to have us a good old come to Jesus moment with Auntie. They are using us They want to make the narrative that Black people are so worried about losing SNAP benefits, like we are the ones who get the most in SNAP benefits, and we're not. White women are. And the people who are going to crash out when November 1st happens and they can't swipe their card and it says insufficient funds on their cards are going to be the white folk, not the Black folk, because we used to struggling. We used to struggle. We used to going to the church and getting food. We used to having community and people having a garden and showing up and making sure that families don't go without. These other people ain't used to that. They're not about that life. So they're going to be the ones, not just saying that we ain't going to hurt, but we know how to navigate these waters. They've never had to do it before. So when they crash out, they're going to want to blame it on Black folks. So don't give them the ammunition by you being all up on the news talking about some, oh yeah, I'm going to go steal, I'm going to go do this. No, you're not. Because we got our people.
So the administration has just announced that they will comply with the federal judge that is forcing them to pay SNAP benefits. And in response, they are throwing out some crumbs. They have decided to pay SNAP benefits partially. Let me be clear. They have the funds, they have the authority, and they have the ability to fully pay SNAP benefits for the month of November and an entire year moving forward if they wanted to, but they don't. And at the same time, they are sending out a letter, I'll include it at the end, from the USDA to remind stores that they are not allowed to treat SNAP beneficiaries any different than anybody else coming into the store. So if somebody is starving, if they don't have enough food for their family, and an independent store wants to offer SNAP recipients buy one, get one free, or free dessert with your purchase, or an extra meal a week, they will be in violation of federal law. Even under an emergency situation, they are telling retailers that they should not give more to people who are starving than people who have enough food to throw in the garbage.
There are far too many people on SNAP benefits. 42 million? That's a ridiculous number. And it shouldn't be on the taxpayer to make sure those people are able to eat. It shouldn't be the job of the federal government to make sure 42 million people are able to eat. It should be the job of their employers. That Republicans are right. There are too many people on SNAP benefits. However, the solution to that is a living wage. Amazon, Walmart, McDonald's pay their employees a living wage, and then the taxpayer doesn't have to subsidize their poor salaries, because that's what's happening. The taxpayer isn't paying for lazy people who don't want to work to be able to eat. They're paying for lazy corporations who don't want to pay their employees a living wage. Greedy corporations. That's what we're paying for. We're subsidizing Walmart and Amazon and McDonald's and every other corporation that lobbied for years to keep the minimum wage where it is, so they don't have to pay their employees, because they know the taxpayer is going to make up that difference.
The Trump administration has officially reached a new all-time low. The Trump administration has already refused to use emergency funds to help Americans get their SNAP benefits for the month of November, so many local grocery stores have been offering discounts for those who typically use SNAP benefits when they were available. Now, those grocery stores are receiving an email from the Department of Agriculture on behalf of President Trump, letting them know they are not being fair and treating everyone equally and should not be supplying discounts to those who usually require SNAP. So now not only is the president being sued by 25 states for not providing SNAP benefits, even though he has the emergency funds to do so, he is being forced to provide them anyway in the few states that are winning, and is now threatening grocery stores. I just do not understand how American citizens can watch the Trump administration bully people that need the most help in our society, and y'all still stand here and cheer for him? Get a fucking grip.
Of course, there's a catch.
Partially funded SNAP benefits. That's the decision from the Trump administration. Their attorneys let the federal judge in Rhode Island know today that we hear you, so we're going to partially fund the SNAP benefit program because we looked at our budget and we just can't afford the whole amount because they're refusing to tap into the emergency reserve at the USDA. Now, we're not going to get into the who's, whys, or buts of what they may or may not have done with that emergency fund. I've seen other creators do that. Go check them out. But partially funding SNAP benefits. Okay, so people are going to get something, but when? Great question. They don't know. They went on to say, well, because we have to adjust the amount and we have to do it state by state, it could take weeks or months for people to get their benefits. So even though this seems like a bit of a win, it really isn't. People are still going to go hungry. There is an emergency fund that's supposed to be in place to cover this full amount, but the administration doesn't think that they can legally tap into it. They can. It's been done in other shutdowns, so I don't know what's going on there. And not suspicious at all. This comes, a couple days after Walmart, one of the big donors to you-know-who's campaign and supporters of his, had said something about, guys, you gotta fund SNAP. So that's where we are today.
It's a good day in society, fellas. They cut the food stamps. Coochie right back to being $40 again, man. Yep. So go on, get your wallets ready. Go on, get ready for the hey big head text. Go on, get ready for the I ain't seen you in a while stranger. Just get ready for all them type of text messages. This is the moment we all been waiting for. Government assistance and made these women feel like they don't need a man in the household. And now they about to see how much they actually need a man around. Yep, coochie about to be a lot cheaper now, man. Y'all tap in, y'all get ready.
This funky bandit is giving super predator. I don't care what anybody says. If you are rejoicing that potentially some children are not going to have food or that some mothers are going to be in a dire or a destitute state, and you're like, oh yeah, coochie about to only be $40. First of all, $40 don't stretch nowhere. That's why y'all became passport bros, because y'all that little funky $40 y'all will go to Thailand to pay for a lady boy, or y'all went to the impoverished third world countries. That's the only way the $40 is going to go. As expensive as groceries are today, you're going to have to come with add some zeros to that, first and foremost. Second of all, you got to be low down, trifling, and just a piece of trash. Very uninteresting, personality in the gutter with nothing to offer if you need a woman to be broke, busted, disgusted, and destitute in order for you to have a chance. It speaks a lot to your character, and it speaks a lot to who you are, and it speaks a lot to your predatory nature. I don't care what anybody says, it's giving super predator, okay? Super predator. This is utterly insane. And women getting assistance did not take the men out of the home. I'm so sick of y'all saying that. Shouts out to Cynthia G. Cynthia G called down to the welfare office one day. I saw it. I called her live, and she asked, like, oh, if you have an open case or if you're getting benefits, does that mean that your husband can't live with you or your significant other can't live with you? And they said no. If that was happening, I feel like that went out the window in the 60s. It probably was only a good 10 years where you literally could not have a partner living in a house with you to receive government assistance. At the end of the day, you can receive assistance. You just can't make over a certain amount. I guess the median income in a household has to be a certain amount. And who would choose to be on public assistance versus being with a man that they're in love with, that's supportive of them, that's going to help them take care of the children? I don't know anybody that would have kids and be like, oh, F my baby daddy. I'd rather, he's a hardworking man that's going to contribute to the household and pay bills and pay rent and pay the overhead, pay the mortgage, but I'd rather go and get some SNAP. That's a damn lie. That is a lie and a scam and a scheme that Todd set up. Women would much rather be in a household with a man that is going to help her raise and rear the children versus that's actually financially providing versus being in the government. Like, come on. I just cannot. Super predator, super predator, super predator. This is just gave me a bad taste in my mouth. Corey Holcomb said that too. He love a broke bitch because he could afford her and he can control her with a couple of dollars. Y'all stay woke. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. $40.
Racism expensive as hell. And a lot of y'all about to find out November 1st when you lose your SNAP benefits. I've been seeing these videos. I'm like, why are people making fun of people not being able to eat? Is that where we at now? Like, I've been seeing people, what you do with last month's benefits? So we we at the human beings mocking other human beings for not being able to feed their families phase. How the fuck did we get here? And then I realized the people making those videos seriously thought that only black and brown people was going to be affected by this. I saw one dude say,
"Hey, LaQuisha, calm down, okay? They're not cutting off the SNAP benefits for November, all right? But be honest, you're still going to go out and steal, aren't you?"
It's crazy because the people who use these benefits the most, Chad, look like you. White people, 37%. It's insane that the system that y'all try to demonize the most, y'all benefit from the most. Because y'all have been fed historic lies, and then y'all continue to tell historic lies. Y'all were told the lie that black people are the laziest when black people literally built this country, not just with their hands, but with the products that came from their hands. Tobacco, cotton, generational wealth was built off the blood, sweat, and tears and labor of black people, yet we are demonized the most. Generational wealth that black people don't even see to this day. Then you went to immigrants. You said immigrants are nothing more than rapists and they don't contribute anything to society. They contribute billions with a B. That ain't even counting agriculture, construction, all the other things that they do. Then y'all say, well, I just don't want illegals. Illegals shouldn't be having SNAP benefits. They don't even get benefits. So that leaves y'all. 37% of y'all are about to lose y'all benefits November 1st. Again, it's easy to fool racists when the lie is based in racism. Lyndon Johnson said, if you can convince the poorest white man that he is better than the best black man, he will empty out his pockets for you. Example. This, because y'all really thought starting November 1st that black and brown people was going to be in these streets struggling the most. It's going to be y'all. Because black and brown people, honestly, historically have been used to struggling because of a lot of y'all. But I don't think y'all are used to the struggle that's coming. And it's unfortunate because it didn't have to be this way. But I will say this, in order for us to fix where we at, y'all got to feel where we at. Y'all have to feel the repercussions of your decision. Because the craziest thing about all this is that the person taking away your SNAP benefits, your ability to feed yourself and your family, not only looks like you, he ain't never even had to use the benefits he about to take from you. Racism expensive as fuck.
Red states out here telling folks to pray on an empty stomach like it's a diet plan from Jesus himself. So you know that SNAP benefits, food stamps, are no longer available to millions of families in red states, right? Meanwhile, blue states over here doing community service, pulling funds together and making sure that people can still feed their children. But the red states, they said, no, you just need to pray about it and God will provide. Like that new meal plan is the Holy Spirit in a glass of water. Imagine being told to pray while your stomach sounds like a thunderstorm in surround sound. You can't even tell me America not ghetto. Blue states, they over here feeding people. But the red states act like they're hosting a Hunger Games sequel. May the odds be in your pantry's favor. Don't forget, while you're trying to stretch noodles into a gourmet meal, your president was giving himself an extravagant party at Mar-a-Lago. I'm talking shrimp, steak, and even dancers with no hips. Like a buffet sponsored by your tax dollars. But hey, you keep praying. Maybe one of those angels in Republican heaven will DoorDash you some groceries. In America, this is what freedom looks like in 2025. Freedom to suffer, the freedom to struggle, and the freedom to thank Republican Jesus for crumbs. Because apparently in red states, poverty is a test of your faith, not a policy failure. But hey, how y'all feeling? Y'all tired of winning yet? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like people are winning the Hunger Games, but losing dinner.
So the government's shut down. SNAP benefits were not distributed this month. Federal employees have not been paid in a month. And it's Christmas next month. Sephora's out here they have commercials mocking people who don't want to spend a bunch of money on Christmas. They're building a ballroom and a bunker, and the president had a lavish 1920s themed gala party the night before 42 million people lost their SNAP benefits. Why aren't more people upset about this? he redid a bathroom and made it all marble, and now they're doing a ballroom and partying while people are starving. I don't understand how more people aren't upset about this. I don't understand how there are people defending this. I just don't understand.
So more people are wondering why Black people aren't completely freaking out on the idea of losing their public assistance like Section 8, SNAP benefits, and Medicaid. And please understand, some are, because if they have children, they're going to wonder how they're going to supplement feeding them and the medical care that they so desperately need, and of course housing. But you got to go back to the beginning and remember that when these programs first started, Black people were not allowed to get them. They would not give them. The government would not give these programs or these supplements and public assistance to Black people. They refused. And of course, going through everything, and once we started getting them, one of the things they would do is find any excuse to try to take them off of those programs by sending inspectors to the Black homes that received public assistance. Even my own husband speaks of when he was a child, and his mother, who was a seamstress, she would, sew on the side, make dresses, and do all kinds of things to make extra money. And when the inspectors came by, she would have to hide her toaster, she would have to hide her sewing machine, because they felt that if you could afford any of these things, you didn't need to have public assistance. So they could take you off of public assistance. So my main point is that Black people have never totally relied on these programs to live. We have always worked under the table, had a side hustle, whether it's cook dinners, sew, clean houses, drive people around, whatever it was, we always had a side hustle. And that is just basic. So even though Ronald Reagan did everything he could to sell the idea of the welfare queen, because if they painted Black people as abusers of the system, then it made sense to be able to try to dismantle these programs, because racism is expensive. We don't have universal health care. We don't have universal free college education, because if they have to give it to Black people, they know that white people will feel resentful and be okay with certain cuts being made. And it's not until they realize that these cuts are being made to them as well do they realize what they're losing. Hence the No Kings protests. But just know, Black people have never totally relied on these programs. We have always had a side hustle. So racism is expensive. Remember that.
I'm gonna put on my best anchor voice for this, okay? ABC News reports Black communities across U.S. take part in economic protests against big retailers. What the fuck I told y'all? Pastors Charlie Dates and Jamal Bryant discuss how they are encouraging the Black communities to spend their dollars with dignity and what they call spend in the Black, and pressure big retailers to enact change. Again, what the fuck did I tell y'all? You see, I should go and unblock those people that were trolling me, that were taking clips of my videos saying that, oh, withholding our money is not actually effective. We need to get out into the streets and potentially get pew-pewed. Because look at this. And let's be honest, these pastors are only riding the wave because us little people already started it. I'm about to read off to you guys a little part of an email that I received from one of the luxury retailers that I used to shop with, but have since, decreased on because we're saving and holding those funds. I'm going to include the email somewhere in this video. Dear valued luxury enthusiast, we have noticed that many of our esteemed customers, like yourself, have made a purchase with us but have not revisited our platform since. Your experiences is incredibly important to us, and we would love to hear about your journey here at Censor. Your insights will play a crucial role in shaping the future of our services. And as incentive, right, to help them get us back, they're offering us $100 promo code for our next purchase. Here's the email right here. Right here. If y'all want to pause so you can read it, go ahead. But you think that they would be sending me some shit like this if they wasn't feeling it? I told y'all last week the CEO of Target reached out to Al Sharpton of all people to try to see if he can get us back. They need our fucking money. They need the coins. They need Black people to overspend. They need Black people to overspend. It's because of the Black dollar that brands that were literally facing extinction, like Cadillac, can still exist today. It's because of the black dollar. They need that shit. They need it. Don't ever make them think. Don't ever let them play in your face and make them think that your coins don't mean nothing, baby. It means everything to them. It means everything to them. So yeah, don't go out into the streets. Don't protest. Let your voice be heard from behind your phone, but from behind your screen like I'm doing. And hold your fucking funds. Pour into yourself. Pour into your community. That's how we're going to win this battle. That's how we're going to win this battle. And anybody who wants to join after seeing what that other side is like and is going to stay in line, come on. We love the numbers. We're not racist. We're not discriminating. We're all about inclusion over here.
So I heard that black men are making videos excited and happy and full of glee because black women are losing benefits, losing their SNAP benefits, and maybe won't be able to feed their children. So because that woman can't feed their children, in their minds, the black man, they're going to come crawling to them and put up with their garbage just so they can feed their children. Well, sir, if she didn't put up with your garbage when she was dating you to feed her children, what makes you think she's going to put up with your garbage now? Because she's not getting SNAP? Do you not know that black women are some of the most resourceful women in this country? You don't know that? Do you not know that we ain't putting up with that? Do you not know that some black women will choose to bear over you? If you're not bringing anything to the table, what makes you think you have a right to sit at that black woman's table? Now, some of you men who are excited about it probably got kids by a black woman that you're not supporting that is on SNAP. Make it make sense. Tupac said it best. You'll hate the ladies that make the babies if you don't respect us the way you should. They are hating black women now because we ain't putting up with your crap. There's not a black woman that should be desperate enough to give up their honeypot for some food. We black women, we should never be that desperate. We are resourceful. We can do whatever we put our minds to. You don't need that trifling Negro to feed your children. Let them make videos. Let them think that we'll be so desperate that we're going to come crawling to them to help feed our children. Let them think that while we prove them wrong. Because nothing is sicker than the black man who's supposed to be the head of the family excited because the family may be in peril. That's wild. That's mad behavior. And if that's how black men want to act, the ones that's doing that, let them. We just keep moving on. We'll leave them back there while we move ahead. We don't need them.
White America loves telling black America that we're the ones using food stamps. Excuse me, I'm in Oregon. Oregon is fantastically white. And let me tell you how poor Oregon is. I'm in a town called Roseburg, right? These people poor as shit. I literally have to lower the prices of my products to make sure people can actually afford it. I'm donating my animals as a farmer, a black farmer who's been historically discriminated against. I'm donating my animals to charity so that they can eat. Because their food banks are running dry. But they love telling you that we're the ones using up all the freaking food stamps. No. Oregon serves as proof. Oregon is white as shit. And yet Oregon is one of the most food stamp using states in the whole damn country. And in fact, 1 in 6 Oregonians use SNAP. And this white ass, racist ass state, Oregon, ranks 3rd in the nation when it comes to SNAP usage. So black America, don't you...
Now, welcome back. Looking at what people have just gone through in America, you'll be able to realize that this government shutdown was one that came with a lot of lessons to black people and even to whites. First of all, I like the fact that it brought some respect to the name welfare programs because now whites are able to realize that they cannot survive without these welfare programs. They're able to realize that without this welfare program, without this government assistance, they can never live a better life as compared to their black counterparts, because blacks have had a lot of things working against them. And therefore, if they just get a small boost, they are able to do better. But then look at what whites are going through. With all the white privilege that they have had, still they're the ones who depend more on SNAP benefits and even on other forms of welfare programs. So this really is something that has revealed a lot of things. And while it was so hurtful for many Americans, I sympathize with those who had kids and they were not able to even feed them. I sympathize with them because it's not easy having your kids and facing challenges and not having the ability to give them what they deserve or what they want. So I have that soft side of me because I feel like it really hurt many people. But then when it comes to the issue of race, I believe that this was a desired shutdown so that whites get to learn this lesson that they have never learned for quite some time. They need to know that black people are not the welfare queens. It's them. That was a lesson they deserve to learn. The longest government shutdown under Trump administration exposed an uncomfortable truth for many white Americans who had long subscribed to racialized myth about welfare and work. When paychecks stopped, a large portion of federal workers, many of whom were white and middle class, suddenly found themselves depending on food banks, community donations, and emergency relief. The image of self-sufficient, hardworking white taxpayer and the dependent black welfare queen began to unravel under the pressure of reality. For decades, political rhetoric and media narratives painting poverty and government assistance as black problems, weaponizing stereotypes to justify cuts to social programs. Yet the shutdown forced a public reckoning. Most white Americans who rely on government assistance are white, and many live paycheck to paycheck despite steady employment. The shutdown didn't create that vulnerability. It simply revealed it. The disappointment among some white Americans stemmed from realizing that the safety net they once dismissed or resented was not just for others, it was them too. The myth of racial superiority through economic independence collapsed when they had to stand in line for food aid, or when neighbors saw that federal employees, once seen as secure, could be thrust into crisis overnight. The narrative of moral failure attached to poverty no longer fit. For black Americans, the moment carried a bitter irony. They had long endured the stigma of being blamed for systemic inequality, even as data consistently showed white Americans are the largest group of welfare recipients. The shutdown didn't vindicate stereotypes, it shattered them, showing that structural independence on government stability crosses racial lines. The difference lies on who gets blamed for it. In the end, the episode served as a mirror reflecting the shared precarity of working Americans, regardless of race. It exposed how racialized myths about welfare serve to divide rather than protect. The disappointment for some whites wasn't just financial, it was ideological. They were forced to see that economic vulnerability is not a mark of personal or racial failure, but a shared condition in an equal system that had been taught to misunderstand. That was a good reality check. They had to learn the hard way. They had to talk about the challenges they go through publicly, and they had to cry and call for black help in fighting or addressing some of the challenges that they are facing, because for many years they have looked at themselves and thought that they are invincible. They have a working government system that can never fail them. But then under Trump, a leader who they voted in droves, they have learned that they, white people, are the welfare queens. Share your thoughts down in the comment section. And if you're watching us for the first time, remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share. Thank you. Let's meet on the next one.